ready and willing to blast motherfuckers like suckers. And the streets scream like banshees. 500 years of blood, sweat, and tears ran down my brown indigenous face. While Tecatos played Russian roulette with their veins, forgetting the names of their children. Unidad, libertad, unidad. Unidad, libertad, unidad, unidad, unidad. Young sons with guns plunged into 50-year pedals with devils on triggers, they figures. Charlie Holmes, who gives a fuck anyway, you see? And dig while pigs take swigs from 40-ounce bottles of malt liquor righteousness, getting drunk off the feeling of callousness, and pissing and shitting what they call the law. But I saw what they did when they came to bust us, or as they would have you believe, administer justice. Oh, help me, Lord. Oh, Lord, help me. Unidad, libertad, unidad. Unidad, libertad, unidad, 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 unidad. In hypodermic dreams, the divisive schemes of a colonized mind keeps the riffraff in line, doing time in a psychological cell, the hell of low self-esteem. And it seems, and it seems things are gonna get worse before they get better.
Exagerito mexicano con...
So you wanna know the truth? Well, let me lay some truth down upon you. Take another hit of this truth. Are you ready? The truth is the crack of nightstick on...
What I loved about Grito was like the combination, the really unique combination at the time of that Chicano rock sound with straight spoken word, you know, like we hadn't heard that yet when it came out in the 90s, and it was new and it was energetic. You know, you had this really dope, like, you know, War Santana sound behind Marc's, you know, spoken word lyrics that was just energetic, and it really charged us and made us feel proud, but also like, you know, you could bounce around and jump on people if you wanted to. It was a lot of fun. And then I remember doing backyard parties with Charles and the band, and we just like all doing hella like war songs and making shit up on it. It was a lot of fun just to be with the brothers. So I'm really honored that they came back together for this show. So let's give a round of applause. A lot of love to Marc Pinate and to Grito Serpentino.
Man, so good to be here. Such a time machine. Like I just portaled into like 1999 right now. Like this place. There's people here like Chacon, and I have very specific fucking memories. 3 in the morning. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, goddamn! And then my daughter's here. My beautiful Mina Sol. Oh. Alright, your dad's gonna say a few F-bombs tonight. I'm sorry, I said that ahead of time. I want to thank Creator for bringing this all together, for this ceremonia, this ritual, right? This is sharing our stories. This is how we don't forget, right? I want to call the antepasados. We wouldn't be here, right? Life is hard. Life is hard now, man. Shit, life is nothing compared to our grandparents, our great-grandparents, our great-great-great, right? And only the strongest, only the smartest, only the most equipped made it this far to get to us. So I call on their strength. All right. 13 cholos at my door, the same 13 the day before, hanging out, looking real chingon. When I squint my eyes, they all kind of look alike. Bald-headed, no shirt, wearing saggy, baggy to San Jose after a good rain always lead me home, and there they are. Same as I left them. Empty bottles of 40-ounce malt liquor on the steps. The smell of mota lingers in the air. Everybody's faded, including me, and at these times, I think we could all get to know each other, hang out as one raza, Latinos, Unidos, and all that cool sounding shit. But a simple sub is as far as it'll go tonight. As I get to the front door, I pass a fine-looking cholita under the yellow streetlight. Her purple lipstick looks just right. She couldn't be more than 15 or 16. Sometimes she holds a bottle of Thunderbird, sometimes she holds a baby, and sometimes when I'm faded like this, I can't tell which is which. But I don't look too long, cause she's Victor's Hainan. He's the most chingones of them all. I stumble upstairs to the sounds of Angel Baby playing below as the cholos slip softly into the darkness of the night.
My name is Marc David Pinate. I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
My name is Charles Castillo, and I play percussion and I sing. I would say every band needs someone to thump on logs and howl at the moon, and that's me.
My name's José Maria Arroyo, although I was always called Joey or Chelita.
My name is José Antonio Burciaga, but nobody calls me that. Tony or Tono, my family calls me Tono.
My name is Mikey Chacon, and I'm born and raised in San Jose, California, and I played the bass with Grito Serpentino.
So I was in my early 20s. I remember there was a newspaper, a Spanish language newspaper called El Grito, and I felt like, we had to say it needed to be shouted, right? Like that's the Spanish word for yell or scream. And we needed to shout and yell and scream what we had to say. And then the Serpentino directly comes from Pensamiento Serpentino, this poem by Luis Valdez.
Whenever there was something revolutionary done, it's El Plan. And the plan is always announced by El Grito, right? Boom, that's the shout. It's a call to arms, It's a call for people to rise up to do what's right for justice.
We were speaking truth, and we were doing it through all these different avenues.
I always felt like the music, what we did and when we got it, kind of spoke for itself, Just some pissed off young Chicanos.
It was like our own grito, like our own scream, our own yell, our own chant.
You can't lie in music. It's the truth. You know it when you hear it. There's no faking it. Majority of the Grito songs, that Grito period, were very like angry, militant. Like let me tell you everything that's fucked up about this country or about this society. And so they're kind of negative, right? Like, and I think that's fine. I think that's the first stage, like to be able to voice all the things you're angry about, all the things that are wrong. You have to get that out first. That's what you know. It's a long journey to getting to, okay, well, how do we make it right, and what is the healthy ideal world to live in? I don't think you can get to that until you first understand that there is an unhealthy environment that you're currently in, and then articulating that.
To me, this music means more now than it did then, because then people could say, that never happened to me, you know, or that happens to other people, or you must have deserved it, or you did something, or you had a shitty car, right? But now you can't really have that excuse anymore.
It's still relevant, you know? It's like 20 something years ago, and even before that, there was Chicano like Jose Montoya, the guys that were doing it before us. It's still relevant.
People need something to relate to, especially if other people are trying to hold them back, right?
Music is a language unto itself that surpasses other languages. It's a lingua franca that everybody touches.
To me, Chicano music is a mix-up, a mashup, the best of both cultures, right? Or maybe even more than two cultures. It's probably 3 or 4 cultures. I think that's just the natural state of evolution, and that's what Chicano music is doing.
You're hitting in the heart, man, about what's universal in all of us. And that's why music is so powerful. Nothing else, no other language has that power. No other weapon has that power. Why? Because music is love, and love is the strongest power there is in the universe.
Soy del pueblo soy. Ande me lleva el pueblo, yo voy. Soy del pueblo soy. Ande me lleva el pueblo, yo voy.
really got a huge divide in the country. I don't know if we'll be able to come together. But in terms of Chicano and getting a message out there and just being proud of being Chicano and understanding what it is, to be Chicano, like all of us, we're as much hamburger as we're a taco. Like we're American, but we have Mexican roots, and that's where our soul is, and I think that's what it is to be Chicano.
First group that I fit in ever was with Chicanos in college. And then there's that political aspect, and once I started reading, once I went to college and started to understand the dynamics of power, and to this day continue to expand my knowledge of colonialism and all that, Chicano is still at the forefront of articulating that.
Everybody should be able to have a culture that they show and celebrate. There wasn't a lot of avenues to do that growing up, at least for me. In San Jose, the root of it all, right? I grew up in the suburbs, and you didn't hear anything about Chicano. You heard Cholo, and that was always negative, and gangs and stuff like that. And I never heard it as a positive thing.
It's a little sad that so much of our lyrics and the themes are so relevant to this day. The stuff I was writing about, it's unfortunate it hasn't changed much. Oppression and racism and all these things.
Without struggle, it's not a life worth living, We have to take on those battles, and we can't be afraid, We have to say, hey, I'm going to step up into the breach and say what's right.
Not a lot has changed, right? The music still stands because nothing has changed. In a way, I wish our music didn't stand. Unfortunately, it does.
grandpas and our great-grandpas and great-grandmas and everything went through, how hard they worked, how much they put in their blood, sweat, and tears so we could make a difference and we could have a better life.
I think that it's alive. Some Chicanos will hear it, or some kids that have Mexican ancestry or Latin ancestry, and it can serve as like an awakening.
Having not looked at those poems for 15 or more years, and redoing them and saying them again, and listening to how eerily they were at times predicting the future.
I think it's important to say that this is music for the people.
It can wake people up, you can get so lost in your daily life and what surrounds you and your phone, but the bigger picture is there's a lot to be dealt with, a lot to work through.
Rock and roll music, at its core, that's what it does. It allows people to express themselves. It allows you to kind of bear exactly what your emotions are. It can be anything you want.
Songs like Así Corre el Agua, talking about the people that are following these natural immigration courses that have been here for centuries, for millennia, and the people that travel on and that are still traveling up here today. And that nobody, not even the American government or everyone else, can stop that. That's just part of nature.
Music can bring people together, right? That's what we were trying to do, is bring our people together, because at that time and today, right, people are trying to separate.
Indigenous people, well, since colonialism, we've not been free. We can't walk, travel to any part of the globe. And when we start wanting to do things outside of a certain box that we've been put in, it's at the minimum very difficult, and beyond that it could be deadly.
Así corre el agua, mi abuelita me decía, como corre mi gente en las calles de San Isidro, huyendo de las barcas de la migra. Se llama anti-immigrant sentiment, pero nomás es otra manera para de quitar los derechos y la educación de nuestra raza, para que esa esclavitud moderna que existe en los files de San Joaquín nunca se acabe. Justicia es una gringa vieja con 2 serpientes salvadoreñas y un jardinero de Michoacán que les paga a sus ilegales con miradas de disgusto y ojos acusativos. Igualdad, pues, ya no habla español, o quizás está completamente sorda, porque nunca responde a los gritos de mi gente. Y libertad, César Lucas se juntó con un gabacho, porque su madre siempre le decía que eso iba a ser la única manera en que se iba a mejorar. Así corre el agua, y así vienen los hijos de Cuauhtémoc, como un río fuerte, cual curso nadie, ni los norteamericanos lo pueden cambiar. Así corre el agua.
I think it's cruising. I almost started crying yesterday at the rehearsal when we first played it the first time. That's the one that gets played. I think it's played the most. I know Javier the X-Man is still playing that song down in San Diego, college stations. All these Cholo tribute videos that lowrider dudes make, and they put that song, and they call us Grito Serpentino all the time and get our name wrong. You know? But anyway, but that song is just, again, right, it has a classic sound, and it's a cool mix. You know, the second half of that is, I think Roberto Torres is the name. He's a Panamanian singer, but it's a standard song from the Caribbean that we like mashed up at the end of that. And so it's just so versatile. And it's like, man, what is the professor's name? He used to teach at San Jose City College, Arturo, and I don't remember his last name. But he did all this research on the roots of cruising. And it's this idea of parading, which is coming from Mexico. And they say it in there, you know, we didn't have fountains or plazas with the fountains in the middle and the benches. And after church on Sundays, the girls, you know, those big plazas in the middle of town, the young women would sit there, and then the men would walk around and eye contact. And eventually when they became novia, they would arm in arm, walk around and peacocking and strutting and trying to look your best to attract that potential love interest. And that's what cruising is. You know, your car is a representation of yourself, and just being seen, right? The need to be seen in this country, the need to have to really put on your feathers, right, and look your best in the way that's uniquely you. So that song carries so much, has so many levels to it. There's the piece about mi tío con sus Ray-Bans and su pompadour, parqueó su 56 outside Marlita's house, had his Luisa take a picture of him. So my mom has a picture of her uncle, and it's the 50s, and he's in front of a 56 Chevy, and he's got his Ray-Bans, and it's a black and white, and he looks fucking cool, man. And I remember seeing that picture when I was 10 or 11, and immediately being, oh, that dude looks cool. He died before I was born. And so that's in that song too, like a picture. And again, it's just something that's ours. It's culturally ours that no one can take from us, and a sense of pride, right? Like the times to be proud can be so rare for a brown kid, especially in Arizona.
People still want to hear it. And I was surprised, like I would go like on YouTube and I saw one thing for cruising that somebody put something together. And then I like logged in like a year later and there was like 4 versions of it. And then I would get people emailing me to go, you know, hey, do you still have the CD? So I threw it on Bandcamp and it still sells pretty well.
We might not have the economic power, we might not have the political or military power, but we do have that power of the grito to stand up every now and then and be the conscience for what needs to be said, and to stand up and say that. Mom, here's our grito.
with an old lady with brown on his fresh ride, and he turned to her to say these words.
It's a fine night for cruising on, coming home. It's a fine night for cruising on, coming home.
And so they cruised down Whittier, down Central, down King. Danced mambos and jitterbugs, ate frosty free shakes and monster burgers, went to the drive-ins, and oh, they had some kids too, a whole mess of kids. And those kids grew up to drive Forest Green Monte Carlos and Oldsmobile Cutlasses with a metallic finish. Long before any tinted window lawns, before any minimum number of inches off the ground lawns, before the placa started carrying rulers, when car shows were still legal throughout all of Aztlán. And in the summer nights, the Chicanada would say, so we cruised, slow and low, especially over the speedboats, but then slow and low got twisted by fork tongue into describing La Raza themselves and not the cars we drove, and the whole feature system came down on low riding. But what were we to do? There were no plazas in this place, no plazas with the fountains in the middle, the benches for the pretty girls to sit on, no plazas in the melting pot, just big wide streets and the most chingon carruchas in the universe.
Hay tres cosas en la vida que no me pueden faltar: la música, las mujeres y un buen sol para respirar. Por eso nací poeta, por eso canta el curioso a este pueblo bondadoso que me quiere y me respeta. A ustedes les debo todo, lo que fui y lo que soy, lo que seré.
that 20 after the show, Paul. Alright, this is our real closer. Hope you enjoy it.
My favorite song is Battle. We've been playing that for a long time. I'm a punk rocker at heart, and that to me is a total punk rock song.
Everybody likes music. I mean, there's nobody that doesn't like. They might not like a certain kind of music, but everybody responds to music. And so music, right, is one of several great, the thing that brings people together. Music works on the emotions. Music circumvents, logic. It gets at you in a different way.
Battle of Tenochtitlan, I think, is beautiful because it signifies the conquistadores, the Españoles, them coming to see Tenochtitlan in all its glory. And that battle went on, boom, the clash of cultures, fighting to the death, vicious, groups of warriors going at it, man. And that's who we are today, this crazy blend that came out of it.
Black and charred as I wet their eyes on a full moon night.
mean, to me, it's still the same. It's still being able to share stories that people may not be exposed to, stories that people may have experienced but never heard expressed. And to me, that hasn't changed. You know, the stuff that Marc wrote about and spoke about is still happening now. It's even happening more, because now everybody carries around a camera in their pocket.
But I'm not gonna lie and say that every now and then you don't have to maybe take your lumps on something, you know, but at least that way you know you fought a good fight. Okay, and so we're all champions on the inside, man. Look at who we are, where we come from. Every single person out there listening, everybody that gets interviewed, everybody that's, you know, within the sound of my voice and beyond the sound of my voice. You have stories in your family of bravery. You have stories of sacrifice, of dignity, of the victory of the human spirit, despite all odds. And so I say to you guys, man, capture those, write them down, because you know what, they're even better than some bullshit story about George Washington chopping down a cherry tree.
That's our culture. Why, you know, we're not gonna hide our culture or anything like that. At that time, people needed it, right? That culture that related to them, that music, that poetry that Marc had that related to them. You know, we're not gonna hide, you know, no one should hide behind, you know, hide their culture for anyone, right? For, you know, the government, for people trying to change the past, trying to change history.
I'm not that old, but as you grow older, you look back on your experiences and the relationships you've made, and you realize the importance. Well, for me personally, I realized the importance, how it shaped me, because I always did. You know, both of my parents were very active in the Chicano community, and I kind of felt, you know, these guys are doing something I believe in, and it's kind of my roots. So I said, let's have a reunion, and yeah, absolutely. I'm proud of that I was with them.
I'm almost 50, and I'm just barely feeling what it feels like to belong. I didn't understand when I was a kid in Arizona. I didn't feel like I belonged. I left as soon as I could at 18. But now going back and really doing the research through all these old histories and all these projects I do, I know I'm in my ancestral homelands in the Sonora Desert that I know for a fact my ancestors have been there for thousands of years.
And break the mold and try to hold me still, to fill you with the knowledge that you are who you say you are. You are who you say you are, cause we're more than Census Bureau numbers on a government report. We come in hazy shades of every sort, purport to know who we are when we don't even know ourselves. But in spite of that, in spite of that, we still roll fat, cause this Latin explosion got you jonesing for salsa beats and Miami Cuban hoochie freaks. It kinda makes you wanna try it when you look at Selma Hayek. It's a Latinization, a Ricky Martinization of America. Who's taking care of ya? You are who you say you are. Movie star with self-fulfilling prophecy of juvenile delinquency. You create your own history, and me, I be the poet. I bring people and words together, cause together we'll weather the storm. And born shall be a new you and me that's fit for the 21st century. That's right, born shall be a new you and me that's fit for the 21st century. I be the prophet storyteller. I take words and change them into statues of gold. Take hold of old stories told and fold them into something new to show you peace. Here we go.
Ese es Grito mexicano,